Hello and welcome to Kai Chi Alchemy. You can call me Katchi. This is a space of love, y'all. Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to be reading from a chapter of Anastasia, Book 1 from the Ringing Cedars of Russia series. Before we get started with the chapter, I usually pick a card or something. But I feel like today I was, barely able to get out of bed just with all of the releasing of things and energies from my heart and my lungs and my chest, and it was quite a lot. And so I will not be doing the channeling of messages for groups of people very effectively when I am so much needing to prioritize my own personal processing. And as somebody in this line of work, you really have to prioritize that, kind of like in massage therapy. You have to prioritize your own health. Otherwise, you really can't show up for people in that way. So I feel that just in saying that all on its own, there's probably a message somewhere in there for some of y'all. So if that resonates, feel free to let me know. And I look forward to getting to a space where I really do feel confident and positive about putting out collective messages for the wider public and for all of y'all. But I would definitely recommend, no matter who you are in this group, that you take some extra time to do that for yourself, because that is a collective energy that's going on right now, globally, politically, astrologically. So take what you will from that. Always take everything I say with a bit of a grain of salt, but if it's resonant and it helps you, I'm glad to hear that. 2:22 on the clock. This is going to be a pretty short chapter, so feel free to cozy up if you'd like, but it'll probably be pretty brief. Okay. Chapter 10, Her Beloved Dachniks. Anastasia enthusiastically explained to me how many new opportunities could open up for people who communicate with plants. There were two major subjects she talked about, not only with particular excitement and animation, but, I would have to admit, with a kind of love, namely bringing up children on the one hand, and dachniks on the other. According to everything she said about these people and the importance she attached to them, we would all need to literally bow on our knees before them. Just think, according to her dachniks, the dachniks have not only managed to save the whole nation from famine, but also sown seeds of good in people's hearts, and are educating the society of the future. There are far too many points to enumerate here. One would need a whole book. And Anastasia kept on arguing, trying to demonstrate this. You see, the society you are living in today can learn a lot from communication with the plants to be found around dachas. Yes, I'm talking about the dachas where you personally know every individual plant in your garden plot, and not those huge impersonal fields cultivated by monstrous, senseless machines. People feel better when they are working in their dacha plots. Many of them end up living longer. They become kinder. And it is these very dachniks that can pave the way for society to become aware of how destructive the technocratic path can be. Anastasia, whether that's true or not is for the time being besides the point. What is your role in all of this? What kind of help can you offer? Taking me by the arm, she led me over to the grass. We lay on our backs, the palms of our hands turned upwards. Close your eyes, let go, and try to picture to yourself what I am saying. Right now, I shall take a look with my ray and locate at a distance some of those people you call dachniks. After a period of silence, she began to say softly, "An old woman is unwrapping a piece of cheesecloth in which cucumber seeds have been soaking. The seeds have already begun to develop quite a bit, and I can see little sprouts. Now she has picked up a seed. I have just suggested to her that she should not soak the seeds that way. They will become deformed when they are planted, and this kind of water is not good for them. The seed will go bad. She thinks she herself must have guessed that. And that is partially true. I just helped her guess a bit. Now she will share her idea and tell other people about it. This little deed is done." Anastasia told how she visualizes in her consciousness all sorts of situations involving work, recreation, and people's interaction, both with each other and with plants. When the situation she has visualized comes closest to reality, contact is established whereby she can see the person and feel what this person is suffering or sensing. She herself then, as it were, steps into the image of the person and shares her expertise with them. Anastasia said that plants react to people, to man, with love or hate, and exercise a positive or negative influence on people's health. And here's where I have an enormous amount of work to do. I keep myself busy with the dacha garden plots. The dachniks travel out to their plots, their plantings, as though they were going to visit their own children, but unfortunately, their relationship to them is still pretty much on the level of intuition. They still do not have the foundation that comes with a clear realization of the true purpose behind this relationship. Everything, but everything on the earth, every blade of grass, every little bug, has been created for man, and everything has its individual appointed task to perform in the service of man. The multitude of medicinal plants are a confirmation of this. But people in your world know very little about how to benefit from the opportunities they are presented with, about how to take full advantage of them. I asked Anastasia to show some concrete examples of the benefits of conscious communication. An example that could be seen, verified in practice, and subjected to scientific investigation. Anastasia thought for a little while, then suddenly brightened and exclaimed, "The dachniks, my beloved dachniks, they will prove it all. They will show what is true and confound all your science. Now, how is it I did not think of that or understand it before?" Some kind of brand new idea made her bubble over with joy. I must say that the whole time I was with her, not once did I see Anastasia sad. She can be serious, thoughtful, and concentrated, but more often than not, delighting in something. This time, her joy literally bubbled over. She jumped up and clapped her hands, and it seemed to me as though the whole forest had become brighter and begun to stir, responding to her with the rustling of treetops and the singing of birds. She whirled round and round as though she were doing a kind of dance. Then, all radiant, she once again sat down beside me and said, "Now they will believe. All on account of them, my dear dachniks. They will explain and prove everything." Trying to bring her a little more quickly back to the topic of our interrupted conversation, I noted, "Not necessarily. You say that every little bug has been created for man's benefit, but how can people believe that when they look with so much loathing on the cockroaches crawling over their kitchen tables? What, can it be that they too have been created for our benefit?" "Cockroaches," declared Anastasia, will only crawl over a dirty table to collect the remains of any food particles lying about, particles too small for the human eye to see. They process them and render them harmless before discarding them in some secluded spot. If there happen to be too many of them, simply bring a frog into the house and the surplus of cockroaches will disappear at once. What Anastasia went on to propose, the dachniks do, will probably contradict the principles of the plant sciences and will certainly contradict the commonly accepted methods of planting and cultivating various garden plot crops. Her affirmations, however, are so colossal that it seems to me that they would be worth trying out for anyone with the opportunity to do so, maybe not throughout their whole plot, but at least in one small section of it, especially since nothing harmful and only good could come of it. Besides, much of what she told me has already been confirmed by the experiments of the biological science expert Mikhail Prokhorov. Okay. Focus on your garden. Focus on your guides. Maybe Anastasia or something that you have connected to or discovered through this channel or something recently has opened you up to a new spirit guide, a new perspective, and I would take some time to connect in with that, to connect in with a new perspective that you're not used to moving from. And it's not to say that you should be taken over by them, but that is the beauty of guides, is the influence of an entire independent system, independent of yours, and the things that it's able to bring in and teach you from a teacher's perspective, from an outside perspective, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, next time we're going to be reading chapter 11, Advice from Anastasia, and I believe that this is the one that has a whole bunch of pictures in it. Yeah. So it's going to be very long and very involved with lots of cool side notes and little adventures inside of it. So if that sounds interesting to you at all for any reason, keep an eye out for that one. In the meantime of, between now and when I get started with the rest of season 2 for the zodiac signs. So thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for co-creating community, for all the likes, shares, subscribes. I don't know where y'all are sending those, but I appreciate the energy one way or the other. Yeah, I will see you next time. Love, light, peace, and personal responsibility. Have a beautiful day.